Good morning, my friends, and welcome back to the channel. Now, today we're going to look at a record by 10cc, and the record we're looking at, and we're going to have a talk about, it's 10cc. Look here, and on the front you got "Are You Normal?" and then you got on the back the group, and then all the members of the band. If you can see them with the shiny lights shining on there. And something special with this record before I start going into the tracks and that. So you had on side one, "Are You Ready?" and then side two, "Are You Done?" So as we go into there, I'll show you. There's the cover for the album and that, and it's got all the lyrics and that. So as we go through each track and look at them, so on side one we got 1, 2, 5, and this was written by Eric Stewart and Graham Goldman. Vocals was Eric, lead vocals and electric guitar. Graham was on second lead vocals, bass and electric guitar. Rick was on electric guitar. Duncan was on Yamaha CS80. Paul was on drums and percussion. Stuart was on backing vocals and percussion. And next we've got "Welcome to the World," and this was written by Duncan, I think it's Duncan McCain. Is that right? Let me, hold on. I don't know if we got all the names of the band somewhere. I think it is Duncan and Rick Fern. Lead vocals was Eric on lead vocals, lead guitar and backing vocals. Graham was on lead vocals and bass and backing vocals. Duncan was on a Yamaha CS80 organ. Chance and Dove and harmonica, something I can't pronounce that. Rick was on lead guitar and electric guitar and backing vocals. Paul was on drums, and Stuart was on backing vocals and percussion. And then for our next one is "It Doesn't Matter How Am I Ever Going to Say Goodbye." This was written by Graham and Rick Fern. And on lead vocals was Graham, on lead, bass and electric and backing vocals. Rick was on the electric guitar, second lead vocals. Duncan was on Yamaha CS80. Paul was on drums. Stuart was on backing vocals and percussion. Eric was out for lunch for that one, so he wasn't in recording for that one, so he missed out on that track. So our next track is "It Doesn't Send Don't Send Me Back." So this was by Rick Finn. Rick was on lead vocals, electric guitar and acoustic guitar. Graham was on bass, acoustic guitar and backing vocals. Eric was on lead guitar, backing vocals. Duncan was organ and viola, I think. Paul was on drums and mandolin. And Stuart was on backing vocals and percussion. And the final one on side one was "I Took You Home," and this was written by Eric Stewart with Eric on lead vocals, lead guitar, electric piano, harmonica, vocals and violin. I don't know if that's right. Graham was on bass, acoustic guitar, electric guitar. Duncan was on Yamaha CS80 piano, tubular bells and violin. Rick was on electric guitar. Paul was on drums and percussion, and Stuart was on percussion. So on this side, you've got the writing, and it says, "Are you alone?" That was on side 1. So on side 2, we've got track 1 is It Doesn't Matter at All, and this was written by Eric Stewart and Graham Goldman, with Eric on lead vocals and backing vocals, electric guitar. Graham was on bass, acoustic guitar and electric and backing vocals. Duncan was on electric piano and Yamaha C80. Stuart was on drums. Paul was on drums. Stuart was on backing vocals and percussion. Rick was on electric guitar and backing vocals. And then we've got Dress to Kill. This was written by Eric Stewart and Graham Goldman. And lead vocals, Graham was on lead vocals and bass, electric guitar and backing vocals. Eric was on electric guitar, slide lead guitar, and I don't know what that is. And Rick was on electric guitar. Paul was on organ. I don't know what the other thing is. Duncan was on organ. Paul was on drums, and Stuart was on backing vocals. So then we got Lovers Anomaly. I've got my teeth not in. Written by Eric Stewart and Graham Golden. And lead vocals was Eric, lead guitar and electric guitar. Graham was on bass, acoustic guitar, backing vocals and electric guitar. Rick was on lead guitar, backing vocals. Duncan was on Yamaha C80, tubular bells and piano. Paul was on drums, and Stuart was on backing vocals and tambourine and percussion. Our next track, I Hate to Eat Alone. So this was just written by Graham. Lead vocals is Graham was lead vocals, bass, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, and I don't know what that is. Eric on percussion. Rick was on lead guitar, electric guitar, and backing vocals. Duncan was on Yamaha CS80, electric piano. Paul was on drums. Stuart was on backing vocals. And then our next song is Strange Love. And this was written by Eric Stewart and Graham Golden. And Eric was on lead vocals, electric guitar, electric piano and backing vocals. Graham was on bass, electric guitar and backing vocals. Duncan was on organ, piano, Yamaha C80. Rick was on electric guitar and backing vocals, and Stuart was on backing vocals, with Paul on drums, tambourine and percussion. And our final one is LA Inflation. And this was written by Graham and Stuart, Eric Stewart and Graham Goldman. And Eric was on lead guitar, slide lead guitar, backing vocals, electric piano. Graham was on bass, electric guitar and backing vocals. Rick was on lead and backing vocals. Duncan was on piano, Yamaha CS80 and organ. Paul was on drums and Stuart was on backing vocals. So, I don't know if this tells you, somewhere it tells you all the members of the band. This was done at Strawberry Studios South. It tells you the members of the band somewhere. If I can find it, I would tell them all the names. Oh, here we are. So we've got Eric Stewart, Graham Goldman, Rick Fern, Duncan McCain, Paul Burchard, Stuart Toss, and that was 10cc. So this was the last, well, I would say one of the last ones that everybody was together, because the album what we did before 10 of 10 was just with mainly with Graham and Stuart, and with Paul Burchard doing some drumming. But this one was with the lineup, the second lineup, and then they sort of all went their ways and that. And there's a picture on the back of a sheep on a chair. So this is my look here, and 10cc from 1980. So if you enjoyed this little chat about 10cc's 1980 album, look here, and they're successful, me telling you all about it, and you like things that I talk about, and you would like to come back and join the channel, subscribe to the channel, because that's absolutely free. It's your choice, as I always say. So when you ever watch this, morning, noon and night, I hope you are safe and well. Take care of your friends and your loved ones, and look after yourselves. And I'll say a fond farewell for now, and catch you on the flip side for more interesting things.